one paid any attention. See this little hook that goes right up in there, it says lysosome. This is what started this whole story. You remember it was 8 AIDS patients saying they got better? You might have wondered why. You're looking at it. The lysosome is inside all our white cells. And it's kind of a demolition kit, if you will, inside the cell, because when a white cell wanders around and comes up to bacteria or virus or protozoans, it flows around it and brings it inside it, kind of like a shmoo or silly putty. Takes it inside of it. But it's still alive. In the lysosome, you have enzymes, just like scissors we've talked about before, that are like hydrolases that start chopping up the carbohydrate structure of the infectious agent. And lipases that chop up the fatty structure of the structure. And then proteases that chop up any amino acid chains. And if it's a virus, endonucleases that chop that up to destroy the virus. Where are these enzymes made? They're made on this assembly line. And when you've got it there, that's why the AIDS patients, and as we went back years later, every one of them had hepatitis C, and why their liver enzymes came down is we were improving the supply of parts or nutrients to enhance the normal physiology of life.
Review in February of 2003, which was put out by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, just listed glycobiology, which is this science, as one of the top 10 technologies that will change the world. Congress in a closed-door session on biological warfare. And what they have found is this, that when these sugars are in your diet and your body is able to make this molecular chain correctly, that it assists the body in the ability to disallow virus and bacteria from being able to bind to the cell. Let me read you a short quote from that chief medical officer and what he wrote to Congress. And this is the final scribe of what he wrote. In instances of unusual epidemic or viral infectious agent exposure, glyconutrient supplementation has been found effective for enhancing general immune functions and defense. When supplied at higher levels than available in nature, sugars needed for cellular synthesis can take innate defense systems to a much higher level that are effective against infectious agents.
Together to define the rate of what you can make, which is cell synthesis in time for all your cells on that assembly line. And it's called the Michaelis-Menten phenomenon. This curve defines why we're able to take the natural innate mechanisms that get us over the cold or the flu. The medications we take are not against the virus. It's for the ache, the headache, and the myalgia, and the diarrhea, and everything we get, the symptoms. We get over it on our own based on making interferons and interleukins, defensive molecules on this system. So we boost it up when we give more of it, and now AIDS, hepatitis C, multiple sclerosis, Gulf War syndrome, other stealth viruses can be detected and destroyed. The proper skeptic would say, prove it. Dr. Galen Marshall, University of Texas Health Science Center in Houston, took white cells, human white cells, and added the polyglucose. Here's the control of standard media with white cells, overnight incubation. And then they put 1 microgram, 10, 100, 1,000. Remember the curve increasing up the amount that's available of A and B? Here's one that is a perfect match for tumor necrosing factor. That means cancer-destroying factor that your cells make. And it's this is the level, and as you add it, it goes up just like the curve I just showed you. Here it goes up and down. That's interferon, which is a molecule kind of like Paul Revere in our body. It says, hey, there's a virus loose in here. Do something about it. And these other cells respond. Interleukin 1, interleukin 2, interleukin 6, tumor necrosing factor. These work together to destroy infectious agents. And this is part of the information that was presented at the congressional hearing of how this can be used. Because, see, when they make weapons-grade infectious agents, they insert a circular DNA in that gives it multi-drug resistance so you can't stop it. But this mechanism doesn't have a thing to do with antibiotics or antivirals. It's through nutrition supporting your innate system, and it doesn't care whether it has that resistance against antibiotic or not. It's going to use enzymes in the lysosome to destroy it.